The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time on Halloween, the final show of October. Obviously, it's October 31st, and we have an awesome guest today by Zoom. She's from India. I believe she's a model, and she's wearing a certain garb from her homeland because they're having a holiday there too. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's Indian Halloween. I don't know. We'll find out in a few minutes when I talk to her. But of course, before we get to her, I got to read the underwriters first. We got a few, so let's get on it. It's awesome. So we have OTMC Automotive Services in Middleborough. We have Johnny Macaroni's Restaurants, 3 locations, 2 in East Bridgewater, 1 in Halifax. We have Mix-It Nutrition in Pembroke. We have Boombox Guns and Ammo in Middleborough. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Lola's Asian Mart LLC in Raynham. We have Diesel Plus Unlimited in Whitman. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have the Riverside Cafe in Wareham, open 6 days a week, all except Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They make the best breakfast from Boston to the Cape, and they have DoorDash delivery. We have good old Dave's Automotive in Hanson on Route 58. We have Lynch's Towing Auto Cycle and Truck Center in Brockton, 1 number for towing, 1 number for projects. My pal Lynchy there is always looking for new wheels, scrap metal, anything to do with transportation. He handles it all. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have Mulberry Frozen Yogurt in Raynham. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Smokey's Almost Famous Hot Dogs in Raynham. We have the Auto Shop in Hanover with Master Mechanic Ed Rooney. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have Haven Psych Psychiatric Services right here in the building in room 211. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington on Route 58. We have Country Whip Sweet Shop in Acushnet. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Evan Young Realty. That's my brother, the realtor. And we have Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, Radha Petaru, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Okay. And you're from India. And I got to tell you, I love the Indian community that, around here. We've had great guests. We've had great shows over the years with many members of the Indian community. And, I know a lot of people are going to watch the show, and then, like everyone else I've interviewed, whether from India or anywhere else, we find out about what your deal is. So tell me about what you do. I mean, you're from India, and you've migrated to the United States, and you're a model, right?
I am a model. I am a software engineer. I am a mom. I am a dance teacher. I do dancing.
Okay.
I am to fashion shows, modeling, and also advertisements. So everything I do, I have everything on my hat.
Cool. Yeah, you wear a lot of hats, as they say around here. All right. I want to ask right away. Now, you're wearing a garb for you have a holiday in India today, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Indian Halloween or is it something else?
So it's not Indian Halloween, but it's a Indian festival, which we call it as Diwali.
Okay.
It's basically a festival of lights.
Okay.
So we do some traditional prayers and cook good food, and we all meet as a family and friends and celebrate this festival.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I love Indian food. Especially as a vegetarian, I've had plenty of it. It's very good, and there's a lot of good Indian restaurants around here too. All right. Well, tell me about your history. When did you migrate to the U.S. from India? How many years ago?
It's been almost 18 years I've been in US, 17 years in Boston.
Okay.
Initially, I lived 1 year in Florida, Tampa, and moved to Easton.
Funny, I had a guest from Tampa last week we did by Zoom. Small world. Okay. All right. Now, what did you do? What did you aspire to in India growing up? And then what is the reason for coming here?
So most of my family are settled down here, and from childhood, I had a deep dream of coming to US and kind of settling down here and working here. So it was just like a fantasy thing started for me when I was 4 years old, and I always wanted to be in US and try to find out the lifestyle here, traditions here, and fortunate enough, I have both of my kids born here.
Okay. And how old are your kids now?
So my daughter, she is in her 10th grade. She's 15 years old. And my son, he is in his fifth grade, 10 years old.
Okay, so they're young kids. I mean, when your daughter's a teenager and your son is a preteen. Okay, all right, and you married and everything. You have a nice home life, and I guess it looks like that's your house you're in. I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you do all that stuff. Well, tell me about your advertising. You work for an ad agency?
Yes, so basically, I work for like Indian gold jewelry ads and like kind of showrooms like wherein they sell gold. So I kind of advertise their jewelry and also work for designers, costume designers as well. And I kind of worked ramp for New York Fashion Week as well as Boston Fashion Week, New England Fashion Week as well, and also Connecticut Fashion Week and Rhode Island Fashion Weeks too.
Okay, I know you design clothes too, right?
I don't design clothes, but I support all my friends who design clothes.
Okay, but I mean, how are you? Do you model in Fashion Week? And if not, what do you do to participate in Fashion Weeks for those events that you just mentioned?
Generally, like I have a lot of Indian designers whom I know of. They
Okay,
all for all of these fashion weeks, like New York Fashion Week, Boston Fashion Weeks. They
okay,
approach me and ask me if I'm available that dates. So if I'm available, I kind of go and walk for them. And before that, I kind of go and trial their clothes and wear it on me and check to see which one fits me. And then on the fashion event day, I go and walk the ramp for them.
well, that's great. Okay, okay. So you're also a software designer too, is that it?
Yes, I'm a software lead. So I am a QA manager. I kind of handle a healthcare company, and I have like around 10 people whom they report to me. And I kind of do an on-site offshore model wherein my offshore team is in India.
Okay, wow. Did you go to college at all? And if so, where?
I went to college in India, so I did my master's in computer applications.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right. So you did it there, but what about when you came here though?
No, not here.
All right, everything you learned was in India. Now,
Correct.
do you go back and forth to India every year for events and with with the family, and or do you have anyone left over there? It sounds to me like you have more people here than there.
So I have my mom and dad, my mother-in-law living there, my sister-in-laws,
Okay,
and most of my family members, like half of them are here all over US. Few of my relatives are in Tennessee, Chattanooga, California, New
wow.
Jersey, Pennsylvania, Phoenix. My brother lives in Phoenix. So I have half of my family members here in US and half of the family members back in India. So every 2 years, we make sure we go where to India. We kind of connect with all the folks, like friends and relatives. Maybe for 3 or 4 weeks, we stay there and come back.
Oh, okay. So now, you work with models. Do you represent any, like as an agent?
I'm not into an agency yet, but I work individually. So I got to know through some of my friends or the designers whom I know of. I mean, being like really busy nowadays. So I kind of host a lot of like private ladies' night out events. I be a host as well.
Okay.
So I'm always busy. So whenever it's possible, I get into the fashion shows. And if not, if I'm hosting some events, I kind of break them or like skip them.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and it sounds to me like you have I mean, I noticed on Facebook that you got quite a few followers, and I'm guessing there are a lot of people that want your help when it comes to working for getting in the door, their foot in the door and modeling, right?
Yes.
But you're not an agent yourself, is what I'm asking, right?
Yes. I mean, it depends. I mean, if I do know anything who are looking for models, any designers or any shows, I kind of let people know that maybe they can try out and they can choose their designers and go and try to do a trail version. And if they like them, the designers will opt them out. So I
Okay.
do kind of like whatever I know, I kind of let people know so that if they are interested, they'll come walk for the designers.
Okay. All right. So you're basically you network everybody basically.
Correct.
Okay, and that's something that must have taken a long time to, because I know what networking is like. I do it too every day for my show, trying to get new people and everything. Do you,
So
do,
I'm well known here in Boston area, at least in the Indian community. So I mean, most of the people recognize me because I do a lot. As I said, I do a lot of events. I do a lot of hostings.
yep.
I kind of teach free dancing to kids as well as ladies. I kind of promote Indian society, cultural events everywhere I go within
Yep.
Boston area and Connecticut area too.
All right. Now you say you're a dance teacher too, you say, right? Okay. Do you own a school or do you work at a school?
Oh, it's not as a school. I do a voluntary business of teaching my friends about a group of 10 or 15 members. So
Okay.
these are all my friends. So I teach them and we kind of perform in any of the events coming up.
Well, I mean, where do you perform? Where do you do the dancing? Do you have a studio?
I mean, we do it in any one of our basements. Like we try to learn the dances in our basements. I mean, we
Oh,
choose connect with each other either in my basement or like in any of friends basement and try to compose the steps and try to do the rehearsal and on the event day we kind of go to the event and perform there.
okay. That's incredible. You're saving rent money. If you were to own the dance studio, you'd have to be paying the landlord probably 600 a week to be able just to be able to keep it in there. So that's
Yeah,
pretty clever.
yeah, so I mean, I'm not yet into commercial zone of earning money, so I teach only for my friends and known people. That itself makes me a count of 15 to 20 people, so I don't think I can manage more than 20 people. But if I become commercial dance teacher, then of course I have to own a studio to teach them.
Now, aside from dancing, do you do anything else in entertainment? Do you do anything? Are you musical? Do you sing? Do you play an instrument?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into like musical, I mean, instrumental stuff, but I do sing a little bit. I'm not a good singer though, but I try to, as a passion, I try to hum a few of the songs, but I'm not into most. My passions are dancing, modeling. I do acting. I do a lot of like reels and stuff on Instagram.
Okay.
Um, I do a lot of fashion shows. I do a lot of cooking for my family. I mean, I do a lot of shopping because people come to me for any of the advices related to jewelry or like costumes or anything. So I help only people, I mean,
Eh,
free of cost, like not for money, but I mean, most of the people know me here, so they come for help and I go give them what they need.
Okay. All right. So you just have a lot of friends, and that makes it easy. Oh,
Correct.
have you ever done any acting?
I did acting. I mean, I did in one of my school days and the college days. I did some local TV channel shows and acting.
In
So
India,
I'm
you mean?
interested, yes, in India.
Okay.
And here I might be associated with a channel maybe in future. So I'm getting like, so we are having a discussions going on how to kind of be a content creator or a host on a channel.
Well,
So
hope you're
I'm
learning from the best here.
yeah, I'll learn it from you, Harris.
That's well. Listen, the idea is that you want to spread the joy and the knowledge. That's what it's all about. It's all about and then, okay, that's great. So we talk about cooking. Have you? I mean, I bet your cooking is amazing. Do you cook for a lot of people?
Yes, I do cook for a lot of people. I mean, at a stretch, I can cook for around 50 to 100 people.
Wow. Okay. Have you
Yeah.
ever worked in a restaurant at all, or would you
No,
ever?
no, I didn't.
I mean, I know. I mean, because there are a lot of good. What? I mean, I'm just curious. What town are you? You're not in Boston. You're in a town near there, right?
What is that?
You're not in Boston itself. You're in a nearby town, right?
Yes, yes. I'm in Shrewsbury
Oh,
near to Moose.
Shrewsbury. Okay. So, yeah. Because I was wondering, I mean, I'm looking at you and I go into a lot of Indian restaurants, for food, and some of them I've had underwriters I've had Indian restaurants underwrite my show too. And, I can sort of see you working as a hostess or a cook in a restaurant like that, but you would never do that, right? Or is that totally off the table at some point?
Yeah, I mean, basically, like back in India, we have a tradition that like we have to cook food for like our families are like bigger families. Like we do have like collaborated
Right.
families, not individual families. So our tradition is like the daughter-in-laws or the daughters in the families should learn cooking way early years. So I started learning cooking maybe when I was 10 or 11 years old, and my husband's family is a very big family, so we are about like 50 to 60 people.
Wow.
uh, yeah, so in back in India we always like kind of meet with each other every week or so. So that's how I learned cooking for a bigger group of people.
That's awesome. Do you cook vegetarian food too? Because I'm a big vegetarian, and I know it's a lot. I know it's big in India.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I guess you make that as well, right?
Yes, I do.
And do you ever prepare food for the fashion shows as well? I assume you do, right?
No, I didn't. So I was busy doing my makeup and putting on my costumes and walking the ramp. So I didn't get a chance to cook for the fashion shows.
You never. Oh, really? I figured. I got to figure it. You got to have good food at a fashion show, and you don't. Well, okay. Well, I guess that if it doesn't, if you're too busy, then let someone else handle it. I understand. There's a lot of work goes into that.
Correct. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, in the fashion show, if you are a model, you have to almost spend around like 1 to 2 hours for your hair and makeup, and then put on your costumes and wait for your turn. So it
Yeah.
will be almost around like 200 to 250 people, models will be waiting to walk on the ramp for just 5 minutes. But it needs a lot of time
Yeah.
because you should patiently sit and do your makeup and your hair and then wait for your turn. I mean generally if you only come for 5 minutes or like 2 minutes on the ramp, but it's a lot of work back end.
It is, and I'm now you. So what you do is you basically you work with the models and their makeup and their clothes, right? Is that it for you do everyone?
No, I mean I put on my makeup when
Or
I
you do
am.
your own, but you don't do anyone else's, right?
No, no, I don't do it to anybody
Okay.
else.
Just yourself. All right. So now a few years ago, I attended an Indian fashion show in Foxborough, in 2019, and it was great. But and there were only Indian models there. Now, the events that you work, do you work in just Indian models, or I mean, I would think that Fashion Week includes all ethnicities, right?
No, I mean we don't only prefer Indian
No,
models
I
or
figured that. Okay.
work for don't work for only Indian designers. Like it's again a networking concept. If you go somewhere to a fashion show and some other designer other than an Indian like you, and he proposes you to work for his designs in the next show, if you are willing to do, or if you are free at that time, I would obviously go for them as well as work for them as well. I don't kind of restrict myself to only Indian designers,
Right,
but
right.
I
I didn't think, okay.
work with any other designers too.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of great models. Now, you say you have a big family, you have a lot of people in India. Is there anybody in India you know that's in Bollywood?
They are in Tollywood. I mean, it's one of the regional movie. I mean, India has got different states. So
Yep,
Bollywood is like it's the main part of India,
yep.
but we have different languages within India. So I would say like I have people whom I know are working for the regional language
Okay,
movie.
okay. Now, is that English and now, how many dialects do you speak in of Indian? There's more than one. There's Hindu and there's more than and there's Sikh. Is that how it is? Is that what there is?
They are many. They are many.
And how many do you speak?
I speak around four.
Wow. Okay, and your English isn't bad either. That's awesome. Okay. Do you ever work as an interpreter or interpret? Because I mean, I imagine every Indian person I've met in the United States speaks pretty good English, but I imagine they have to learn it first. Were you bilingual when you came to the country? When you came to the
No,
US?
no, I little bit had trouble because our Indian accent would be something similar to UK accent, not
Right.
American accent. So I had a little bit of trouble trying to understand people. But
Yep.
again, almost 17 years, and in
Yep.
case if I do any mistakes in my accent or in my English, now my teenager will be helping me out. As
Oh,
like
your
this,
kids. Yeah.
yeah,
Or your son, right? Your daughter's the teenager, right? She's the oldest.
yeah,
So I assume that she's probably has a lot of good, English speaking people at her school.
correct.
Okay, and she must be getting a good education.
Yes.
I guess you're happy with that. All right, that's awesome. So, so what about now? You said you did some acting, but nothing in films, just theater.
Yeah, just the theater acting and maybe some regional like plays or something, but not in movies.
Oh, okay, not okay. That's fine. Now, have you ever done any writing of any kind? Scripts. You ever done any drawing, painting?
Yes, I did painting like in my school days and college days. I was a very good volleyball player. I
Oh,
was
okay.
playing like state level, and unfortunately, I was not able to go for national level playing. But I was good at volleyball as well as basketball in my school days.
What about cricket? That's a big game over there, right?
I love cricket. I always play cricket as well. I Whenever I get time or like in the neighborhood when kids play, I try to go and try to engage myself playing in
Wow. You actually have kids playing cricket and you're part of it in your own neighborhood.
correct.
Do you have a large Indian community in the neighborhood where you live?
Yeah, exactly. So there's one person who kind of do play cricket for state level. So
Okay.
he's the
Wow.
one who teaches kids over summer, like as a summer camp. And we were like me and my husband were helping him out to kind of teach them cricket. In that way, we get to play the game as well.
Okay, and this is somebody that's considered like a contender for a championship. Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Wow.
Like,
I know it's a pretty big sport, and it's not just big in India, it's big here too. But India
yes,
brought it. I mean, I know it's big in the Asian subcontinent. Pakistan, it's big there too. So
correct.
so you're part of that. You're part of the whole thing. That's incredible. Are
Correct.
you
Thank
oh, okay? No, I'm not. I know it's like baseball. Last night I just watched the LA Dodgers win the World Series. I don't know if you're a baseball fan. You a sports fan in general of the United States?
I'm a sports fan. I do watch baseball. I do watch NFL. I sit with my kids and they teach me what the game is all about,
Oh
and I
wow,
love.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game last night? It was funny watching the Yankees collapsed. I don't know if that matters to you, but in around here, the American people in New England are big. I don't want to say we're Yankee haters, but we like it when they don't do well. And last night they had a pretty big choking inning in one of the and they ended up losing the game and it ended up that ended the series. So that was something. I
Oh,
don't know if that's something that mattered to you or your kids, but it was fun. It was fun watching it here for us, at least
yeah,
for
I didn't
me.
watch the game yesterday night, but I do. I mean, most of the games I do watch, NFL games or basketball games or Red Sox games, I do watch.
Okay, good. You're a local. You're definitely a transplanted New Englander then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now that here we are we're closing in. Coming into the holiday season. Do you have any fashion shows on tap going forward that you want to talk about?
Yes, so I'm in fashion shows. Like there are many coming up. Like something is coming up in December in New Jersey. So
Okay.
yeah, it's an Indian pageant fashion show, and maybe like we'll be driving to New Jersey and do the fashion show and come back the same night. But I'm not sure whether this time I'm not going to do it or not because my house is under renovation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I kind of take care a lot and help my husband related to the house renovation. And also, every holiday season, as I told you, most of my relatives and cousins live in US. We do a reunion
Okay.
on
Wow.
yeah, from December 21st to January 2nd. So we are almost like 30 to 35 people who will be kind of booking a house or like a Airbnb and spending time together.
That's awesome. Now tell me now, when you teach dancing, what kind of you use Indian music for your dancing, right?
Correct. I choose a lot of Bollywood music to
Well,
dance.
okay, Bollywood music. Okay, that's what the music is. I was wondering about that. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: we have a lot of in the United States, as you know, we have a lot of pop stars that who can be who are nameable. But I don't know of any Indian pop stars that I can think of right now. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, Indian music is lovely, but I mean, if somebody said to me, who performed that Indian song you just heard, I'd say I have no idea. Maybe you would know. That's what I'm guessing, right? Are there any Indian musicians that you admire? I just have to ask.
Yeah, many like actually like last week there was one Indian pop singer who flew from India for a show here,
Okay.
and I won my fashion show there as well. He is called Sukhvinder Singh. He's a Sikh, and also I love Sonu Nigam. Also, there are like many Indian female singers.
Yep.
Uh, um, I kind of admire a lot of Indian female singers as well.
That's great. Okay. Well, Radha, well, guess what? We're under 5 minutes. I hope to go over the shows. We're wrapping it up. I hope you had fun talking to me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely fun, and you made me feel really like comfortable. I was a little bit hesitant and was bit of confused what you'll be asking, what would the topic be, but I think time just flew away with your questions and my answers.
Well, you know something, you're not the only one. I do every week every time I do a show, I'm not sure what I'm going to ask my guests either, but I just take a deep breath and try to hear what they have to say and glean, I should say, not glean what they're about based on what I've already read about them, and then I just take it from there. And it always seems to work out now in my 15th year, which is pretty sweet. All right. Well, what I want you to do, just real quick, give some shouts out to people that are going to see the show, family members. You don't have to name them all, but I'm sure they'll know that, that you're thinking of them. And then we'll wrap the show up with my snap and the way we began it.
So I wanted to give a shout out to one of my Indian designer who's called Renu Gupta. She really engages people and supports people a lot. I have worked for another Indian designer called Paramita Ghosh. She is one of the topmost model who turned into a designer who is helping people a lot, or the Indian women who wants to get into fashion industry.
Okay, great. Now, if there's anyone and that having been said, if you think any of those people would be good guests for my show, send them my number and have them text me. We'll get them on. I'm trying to get more. I'm getting more guests from word of mouth than ever before. So if you could send me any of your models want to do my show, let's get them on too. I prefer it. We could do the show by Zoom. I obviously prefer it in person. I have an Indian woman that you might know that's going to possibly be doing the show in a couple of weeks. But she wants to do it in person. Otherwise, she would have done it next week, but she won't be able to do that until the 23rd of November. So we'll have to wait on that. All right.
Where are you based on?
Well, we're in Easton here. This is one of my 3 locations where I do the show. Okay. North Easton, very quiet little town, very sweet little neighborhood here. All right. Okay. Now I have one last favor to ask. We're going to wrap the show up. Will you stick around, and my tech guy will take a pic for Facebook, and I'll tag you in it. Are you okay doing that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, folks. We're wrapping up October. Happy Halloween. See you guys in November for more great topic time episodes. Okay. Wrapping up and snapping out. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young.